I just loaded up a new world and spent 70 hours building a factory with every rare item in it, including the ones that involve going back to mysterious previous versions and the blocks Mojang doesn't want you to see, and I'm going to give this homeless man $1,000 if he can name them all. How did we get to the stage where this is a believable YouTube intro and not a mental illness? How did we get to the stage where Minecraft's community, which used to be famous for being the most wholesome on the internet, instead became famous for being the most likely to be involved with scandals, drama, or lies? How did that happen? I think could be easily answered by just saying views, or somehow reminiscing and saying that things just used to be better back at some point in the past. But I would say that although people will point to 100 days and fake hardcore and clickbait thumbnails, ooh, this one even includes me, there's one thing that's become clear to me after years in this industry, and it's a lot darker than most people are willing to admit, and honestly, it all starts with YouTube used to have the slogan, broadcast yourself, but it's been many years since major YouTube channels could be run by just one person. Dream is the largest new Minecraft YouTuber, and he has a channel consisting of him playing games, sometimes with friends. You might assume it's just him playing, but in his latest response to drama and accusations, he made this offhand comment.
It's not just me you're hurting when you make up lies or spread horrible things. It's the 50 employees I have.
50 different individuals are required to work on a YouTube channel of one guy playing Minecraft, and if you look at the hourly minimum wage in Florida, that results in a weekly wage of $440 minimum per person, or $22,880 per year. That is over 1.1 million US dollars, and even that is just under the assumption that nobody is being paid more than minimum wage or getting any other perks outside of their job, such as, you know, it's the United States, healthcare, for example. This personal YouTube channel is wildly expensive to run, and this is not abnormal for large YouTube channels, and it actually has a huge benefit to the creators in terms of allowing them to focus on their presenting skills and being personable rather than editing or writing. However, it does mean that YouTubers can't just be anyone anymore, as instead you have to be good at leading a team. In the words of this comment from BlockFacts, a YouTube channel with 1.6 million subscribers, I've been extremely burnt out this year when it comes to making content. I always wanted to be a YouTuber, having fun like the Yogscast or Stampy, but to be a proper YouTuber now, you need to be a CEO who hires loads of people to automate production and doesn't actually make the content themselves. This is not a unique struggle, and any YouTuber who's been on the platform for more than a few years can tell you that YouTube used to be the home of amateur content, where it was expected that you made it all yourself, and that added some charm to it, but now it is expected that there is a minimum level of quality to your editing that you probably cannot do yourself, and so now the barrier to entry has stopped being, would you like to make videos, but now if you want to have a decent chance of success, you're going to need several professionals around you, and this means that one of the skills that's been added to the YouTuber repertoire has become CEO or manager, and with these managers having high overheads, they have high expectations of what they can do with money. Recent polls have shown that YouTube is the dream job for the majority of young people now, but although it might be the dream, I don't know if the job part is actually for everyone. YouTube pays you not for the work you put in, but instead the views that you receive. This means becoming motivated by views and success is not a weird characteristic, but actually a requirement. Following trends and executing them well can feel like it's not a choice, and this gives YouTubers an incentive to lie. When I started on YouTube, clickbait meant a thumbnail that did not match the video. For example, a thumbnail of a busty Alex to get people to watch a video about crafting tables or something unrelated entirely. This is a level 1 lie, but really there's a few levels of lying on this platform which creators know and accept, but their audiences are perhaps not aware of, because level 2 lying is maybe having a fake personality, making up some drama between you and some friends, or scripting some elements of the video and pretending they're spontaneous. These fake elements, which share a lot more with reality TV than what YouTube is meant to be, are actually things that can resonate with some of the audience who are just clamoring for it, but for many other people it just feels a bit odd. One of the reasons that Minecraft YouTube feels very different is that as people have an incentive to do the best possible, and as the incentives show that when you create these fake narratives or when you create these fake elements in your videos, people like them more, you start to realize that maybe this is part of your job too. YouTubers who record in groups can enforce this as well, because when I used to record Hunger Games, it was an open secret that you didn't want to kill the guy with the most subscribers because you want him to come back to your next recording session, something he's not going to be able to do if he doesn't have a great win under his belt. The way that humans are wired in terms of social groups and success means that bending the truth a bit for your friends is the accepted thing to do sometimes, and this is indeed just level 2. Level 3, I would say, is where you're making some cuts in your content to make it look more impressive. It is accepted on YouTube that removing boring moments is a required part of the action, but maybe boring moments can include your death in hardcore, since obviously cheating in hardcore is an impossible thing to do. The game literally turns off the cheat option, so when you start a new world, you're locked in for good, and you can trust anyone that has these hardcore hearts. Oh, I've established a very good hardcore world now. I have so much stuff that dying would be tragic, and you know that if I die in this world, it's permanent, and that's why when I work on this build and accidentally realize that I forgot that that's the floor I dug through, oh no, I'm dead, I have to spectate my world and I'm gone forever. Wow, those hardcore hearts are believable. Except Minecraft itself actually encourages you to make backups, and then if you ever die, you can take one of these backups and immediately reload them, meaning that depending on the frequency that you're worried about your death, you load a backup and wow, it's like I didn't die, and this time I know not to dig through my floor, except oh no, I'm really stupid and did it again, but I don't have a backup this time, I already deleted it, darn, I guess I really have no way past this, right? I'm stuck in spectate mode because there's no way to get except open to LAN. Did you know that if you use the open to LAN, you get to allow cheats on a world, even one with hardcore turned on? This is absolutely wild, but it means that if you want to, by opening your world to LAN, any world with cheats turned off in Java immediately has the ability at all times to have those cheats turned right back on, and so I'll actually fly back up to my mountain, and then I'll put myself in survival mode where, oh wow, all of a sudden I'm alive again, and I've learned that I should not dig through the floor of my house. However, you might say, well, at this point, it'd be obvious you don't have your items and your experience, which obviously can't be fixed with cheats. Oh, what do you know? There are actually commands that can give you all of this stuff back as well. And so the third thing that you can actually do is just not have a hardcore world altogether. If you're already going through the effort of potentially skipping through a death via backups or via something like this, why not just go ahead and skip the whole hardcore pretense? The only thing the end user can really even see from a hardcore world is those hearts are very slightly different, and there are resource packs that allow you to do this. I do so on Bedrock sometimes to show that I will delete the world after a death, and so as a result, you don't even really need to do true hardcore, because can you even tell if I'm in a hardcore world right now? Spoiler alert, I'm not. Oh, it should be noted, those methods can only be used to cheat hardcore death. You couldn't use them to, say, give yourself diamonds, or to go into spectator mode temporarily, or to do anything else that would allow you to have an amazing moment on camera if you were stretched for time and maybe you really wanted to have an amazing moment in your video. None of those things could happen, of course. However, if you were going to make a great video, you'd probably make just the one because of the death of series. Series were the foundation of early Minecraft YouTube, and really most games too. The birth of the algorithm, however, means that most people would not start a series and then watch one every day, but instead they get recommended ones by YouTube. Maybe you get episode 1 followed by 16, and then you get confused and you kind of give up on the concept. This is not necessarily a bad thing, because every video is unique now. It's much better to have a variety than episode 63 of some random Let's Play. I think it's fair to say, when you look at someone's channel and you can see a video that anyone can get into, this is a big benefit, except some topics are more popular than others. Instead of this allowing creativity to rise to the top, instead ideas like Civilization Simulated, 100 Days, or Skibbity Minecraft dominate, and so very quickly YouTubers work out that you're better off not in innovating, but in trying one of these, maybe trying these multiple times. A single viral YouTube success, like with Luke the Notable and his 100 Days, or like with this guy and his communist server experiment, oh, it's me again, will lead to the video being made and remade 100 times, to the point where all Minecraft YouTubers will chase these same trends instead of creating their own brands. Even Mr. Beast, that Mr. Beast, is in on the game for both examples. In a way, this isn't the fault of YouTubers, but rather comes because of the All of the issues raised in this video are real, and there are many YouTubers who are actively harming the YouTube scene for their own gain. This is true and arguably always has been, and ultimately the reason that you think that YouTube is worse now, the reason you might think that Minecraft YouTube videos are different, is because we're all always growing. These same YouTube channels from before, as referenced in that earlier comment, the Stampies and the Yodcasts of the world, it's not that they fell off in any way, they make very similar content, and this is actively what people don't like. Oftentimes, the single most damaging thing a creator can have on this platform is an audience that tells them everything they're doing right now is great and to keep it that way forever. This is something you might like for nostalgia reasons, but YouTube has moved on. The fact that a 2012 YouTube video wouldn't fly now is not a sign that we're all snobs and that they were doing it so much purer back then. It's that those videos were made in 30 minutes by someone recording and then stopping recording and maybe throwing an intro and outro on later. Having videos now that take more effort and thought is not entirely a bad thing. Sure, this means that YouTube is commercialized. Sure, this means that there's no series to follow along with and no exciting moments from it, but ultimately this is because you as the audience have changed as well. When a YouTuber doesn't change to suit their new audience, they'll stagnate. If they do change to suit a new audience, you'll realize that you've aged and that the things that you like right now are what you'll assume you've always liked. However, the things you liked 5 years ago and the things you like now are very different, but people 5 years younger than you have very different preferences. This is how some child-oriented YouTubers are succeeding. They're always aiming for the same, call it 5 to 12 demographic, regardless of who is in that demographic right now, whereas some try to age up with their audience. Personally, I've never actually shot for a demographic on YouTube. I've always had the idea of I'm going to talk to people like they're adults and make videos that I would enjoy myself, but even that will then go through the shifts of someone who started YouTube at 17, effectively assuming everyone else was 17, to now where I'm going closer to 30, and now I'll start to assume everyone else is 28 and then 29, and when I'm 50, I'll be making videos about Minecraft-themed retirement homes, and you get the idea that actually you're always shooting for an audience, whether you know it or not. It's just the channels who don't realize it might necessarily go in a way that you don't like because you as the audience change, not the content. The same content is still there. If you want to, instead of watching the newest civilization created in Minecraft, Villagers, Doom, whatever these AI-generated titles sound like, you could watch instead of that one of the videos from 3 or 4 years ago on this channel, but you probably don't want to, and that is a sign that that video is catering for you better. Some YouTubers get bitter about this, but ultimately that is the dark truth. It's that YouTube standards are changing all the time because the audience is too. And so, in conclusion, fake hardcore or fake 100 days are things that cause outrage in thumbnails and titles, but perhaps the bigger flaw is that the audience is already expecting it to begin with. In an era where the only videos that will be recommended are ones with high click-through rates and retention, some YouTubers will innovate and some will cut corners to get there. This is an inevitable part of any business, and I'm not saying this to critique YouTubers and say that, wow, when you have 100 people under you, are you a YouTube channel or are you a media company? Instead, I'm trying to clarify what sets me apart. I am not immune from every critique in this video. Indeed, some of these were found by looking introspectively at myself, but instead what is different is that despite all of this is I want to educate people about Minecraft and ideally help them to make the game better for all. There are some trade secrets on this platform that people would rather left be unsaid for their own gain, but I don't mind sharing these because trust needs to be earned and can't be given blindly. Hopefully you'll see a death in a hard challenge as being proof of this, but ultimately this is a decision for you, the viewer. You need to look at the content you are browsing, you are seeing, and you need to honestly say, is this what I want to watch? And if it is, then when you click it, you are telling that content that it is good, and if it's not and you click it anyway, it might lead to the opposite. But that's something which is a bit of a deeper thought. I would say for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you learned something about the underbelly of Minecraft here, and ultimately I hope that you maybe subscribe if you want to see more of this, because I think these in-depth scripted videos allow me to talk a lot more precisely about what's going on with Minecraft and the community, something I'd like to do, and you can subscribe if you'd like to come on that journey. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.